Welcome back to Neighborhood Stolist. In today's video, I will be going over my favorite deck build, Traptrix. This deck actually helped me win locals one time, and most of the time it doesn't let me down. Without further ado, let's get straight into the deck. For the main monsters, I run 3 Pudicas. It does lose to Ash for its normal summon effect, but that's why I run 3 of those, because 9 times out of 10, I will be able to do it a second time. The special summon effect is I can target one monster your opponent controls and banish it until the next standby phase, which runs really good with Traptrix Pingacola because then I can steal that monster for some material. I run 3 Traptrix Bromelios. For the normal summon effect, I can search for a whole trap card. For the special summon effect, which is actually on summon, I can target one spell or trap the opponent controls and destroy it. So it's good for back row control. Traptrix Mantis, I run 3 of. The normal summon effect is I can search for a Traptrix monster from my deck and add to my hand. I rarely ever use the special summon effect, to be honest with you. Sometimes it's actually more hurt than it is help. So I usually don't try to special summon Traptrix Mantis, or at least if I do, I choose not to activate the effect. But its normal summon effect is what's most important to me. I run 2 Daineas. For the normal summon effect, I can special summon a level 4-star Traptrix monster from my graveyard, which then I can also use as more material for later for other monsters. Special summon effect is I can take a whole trap card from my graveyard and lay it down, and the opponent obviously will know which one it is, which actually keeps them at bay if I choose a specific whole trap card to lay down for a whole turn, because they're not going to want to risk losing a monster to my traps. I run 2 Erected Campus, mainly for back row protection, but at the same time, it has an activated effect from the hand, which will trigger Traptrix Sera, so that way I can get out another board setup, even if it's during your opponent's turn, which is also really nice. And that's it for the Traptrix monsters. I also run 3 Parallel Exceeds, which is very good for the Exceed summons. I run 3 of these because there's been a lot of times where I wind up opening my hand with both of my Exceeds in my hand, and that does no good for me. So now I choose to run 3 because I will hardly ever, and if anything, never see all 3 in one hand. Oh god, that would kill me. I run 2 Turtle Kaijus, so that way I can also clear my opponent's board if I need to. Because it doesn't target, it doesn't destroy, it tributes. It's like Spear Mode, which has actually been really nice as well for a lot of my duels lately. And then I also run 3 Ash Blossoms. A lot of people are running Droll and Logbird in their decks, but I still feel like Ash Blossom is very good for main decking. Of course, I side deck my Droll and Logbirds most of the time. And that's it for the monsters. Now on to the spells for this deck. 1 Traptrix Garden. As long as I have Arachnid Camp on the field, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to lose my Traptrix Garden. So I only need 1 of. I also run Regeki and Harvey's Feather Duster for monster destruction and spell and trap destruction. And of course a Dark Ruler No More, so that way I can't be negated. And then I also run 2 Triple Texas Talents. Most people will run that Trap Channelizing Tune, but I've come to realize that it's too costly and can lose the Ash real quick. And this gives you a chance to make 3 decisions. And that's it for spells. Now onto the traps. 3 Traptrix Holteas, because being that it can run off of Traptrix Mamelo as a search, it's also good to have an extra monster, even if it is a trap. But as it being a trap, it can also trigger Sera to special summon a monster from your deck to continue building your board. And now, I only run 1 of each of these in my deck. I know a lot of people usually run 2 of each or 3 of each, but my deck build, I have rarely ever had to worry about even using the traps against the opponents, except maybe Floodgate. I run 1 Traptrix Trap Pull Nightmare, one Floodgate Trap Hole, one Gravedigger's Trap Hole, and one Bottomless Trap Hole. I usually only have to use this to scare the opponent to not want to summon for the next turn, unless they can hit me with Harpy's Feather Duster twice, which they can't do. They usually ain't going to attempt to take my face down traps lightly. And of course, for board control, 3 evenly matched. And then for more hand traps, 3 imperms. Alright, that's it for the main deck right now. On to the extra deck. 3 Traptrix Cirrus. I have never seen anybody run less than 3. I keep thinking about cutting it down to 2, but I have been dealing with a lot of new decks as of late, and Rescue Ace is definitely one that I am not a fan of. So it's good to at least have 3 of. Obviously, everybody should know the effects. If a Traptrix monster's effect is activated, you can set a whole trap card from your deck. You activate a trap card, you can special summon a Traptrix monster. It's unaffected by whole trap cards as well, or actually no, by full trap effects. So basically, your opponent cannot like Torrential Tribute or hit it with a trap hole. Next, I run one Traptrix Calaria, which I like its effect that if I activate a trap card, I can set it instead of putting it in my graveyard. And on end phase, I can special summon a Traptrix monster in defense position, which will also keep my field protected, but at the same time, I can also use it for more material. I run 2 Traptrix Adipus. A lot of people only run 1, but I like its effect that as long as there's a trap card, every Traptrix monster gains an additional 1,000 attack points, and that means it runs off of both. So it's not just one monster's effect, it's both of their effects activate, which can make these monsters exactly 3,800 instead of 2,800. Alright, and for the rest of the lake monsters, I run Axis Code Talker. I keep getting a lot of comments about why I'm running Axis Code Talker, but really, its effect is synonymous. Like, I could target my Adipus in the graveyard, give him 3,000 attack points, target a lake monster in the graveyard, banish it, destroy a card. So really, it's not really losing in my eyes. And of course, I do have a Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, which of course its effect is this Link Summon card is unaffected by opponent's activated effects unless they target this card. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that special summons a monster from the graveyard, negate the activation. And now on to the Xyz monsters. 1 Rafflesia, so that way I can use my traps for my deck instead of putting them on the field. Most of the times that's what I use her for anyways. And also you cannot target my other monsters with card effects except for this one. So it also protects the rest of my monsters. 1 Baramit, obviously so that way I can put my traps back in my deck to draw. 1 Alamuras, which is for also searching for Traptrix monsters. I rarely ever use that, but it comes in handy if I use up my Pingacola. And then I run 1 Time Thief Redeemer, because I like stealing my opponent's cards, as well as discarding them so that way you can't use it against me. 2 Pingacolas for its search effects and its high attack. And also because of Pritika's effect, as I had mentioned earlier, if you activate Pritika's effect to banish a monster from your opponent's field, instead of banishing it, you can steal it and attach it to this card as material. So that way you can keep using it and building up your material for what I usually use it for later. Divine Arsenal A Zeus Sky Thunder. It's just an all-around good card. It clears the entire board because it doesn't target, it doesn't destroy, it just sends. Now, unless there's a card that's unaffected by activated effects, then most of the time, right there is your board wipe. And if you use it during your opponent's turn, then it's your turn. You can rebuild your board and then go for the kill. All right. Well, that's it for my Traptrix deck profile. Now for a test hand. All right. Let's get this all shuffled up. Set the deck over here. Let's draw 5. Let's see what kind of hand we start with. All right. That's exactly what kind of hand I would hope to start with. Maybe not with a whole Taya, but let's see how it goes. First, we'll summon Traptrix Pudica. Search for Traptrix Garden. There we go. Then we'll activate that Traptrix Garden. Link off Traptrix Pudica for Traptrix Sarah, which then will trigger Parallax Seed to activate from hand. And as long as you don't get hit with Ash Blossom, let's see where we at. There we go, another Parallax Seed. Special summon that. Now you got 2 XE material, because when it's special summoned, its attack, defense, and star level is cut in half, making them 4 stars. So let's go ahead and XE off for Pingacola. We'll go ahead and detach material. Search for Traptrix Monster, and I usually would want to search for Dynea. Because you activated a Traptrix effect, Seer's effect activates. We'll go ahead and grab one of those full Tayas, set it down. Then we'll activate Holtea by discarding Bottomless Trap Hole, which now triggers Sierra again. We'll just throw out the Traptrix Dynea from deck. Trigger Dynea's effect. We'll grab that Bottomless Trap Hole we discarded and set it down, so that way now you have that for later. We'll set this. And now I'm going to normal summon Traptrix Dynea to activate his effect. Special summon back that Pudica. And now we're going to start XC summoning again. We'll grab that Rafflesia. And then we'll take these 2 and XC off into Time Thief Redeemer. And that's actually not a bad start for your first hand there. Opponent goes. Time Thief Redeemer's effect activates. Steal a card off the top of their deck after their draw phase. Then depending on what material you have attached to it, its effects are monster, banish this card to the end phase, spell, draw a card, and trap. Place 1 face-up card your opponent controls on the top of their deck. Opponent tries to summon a monster, activate Replace's effect, detach material, say they special summoned. We'll go ahead and hit him with that Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. And then because we activated Replace's effect, Seer's effect activates. And we'll just go ahead and throw it down like, Gravedigger Trap Hole. But it tries to do something else. I'll activate. Where you at? That whole Taya, the Trickacera. Say your opponent brought out another monster. We'll go ahead and just grab another Pudica. Pudica's effect will banish that monster. Then pick a color can steal it. Then you still have your Bottomless Trap pulled down in case if he has another monster he wants to special summon. Or any kind of summon. And with that, your opponent might even end his turn. Draw. Activate time to reduce effects. Steal another card. We'll take these three here. Link off into your Adipus. Normal summon Romelio. Uses effects. Search for a trap card. Hold trap card. Then we'll link this one off for another Traptrix. And now, because of Adipus' effect, all Traptrix monsters I control gain additional 1,000 attack points as long as you have a trap card in the graveyard. So now we have a 2,800, an 1,800, and a 3,500. Plus you have your 2,400 attack monster right here. Switch that to attack. And right there would be game, as long as your opponent had no monsters to control. Alright, well thank you for joining me on this deck build, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comment section how you feel about it, and I'll see you guys next time.